Welcome to your yoga workshop with the Dawei Indigenous Business Hub, rooted in resilience, grounding practices for stress and burnout. This is a breathwork class. Reconnecting to your foundation, returning to the earth. Through grounding breathwork, reflection, and gentle, subtle movement, this workshop helps you recognize signs of stress and gently realign with what sustains you. We explore how resilience is nurtured through emotional regulation, spiritual connection, and physical grounding. With compassion, we also consider what our business needs in order to remain rooted and steady. Welcome. Our workshop today will begin with a welcome and intro. We'll have a journaling intention, move into a 45-minute breathwork practice, our asana practice for today with pranayama, and then we'll move into journaling prompts, self-reflection for compassion for yourself and for your business. And then we'll do a closing. So thank you so much for joining me today. I will introduce myself. So if you have not practiced with me before, I am Cassandra Walters. I'm a certified personal trainer, a 200-hour yoga teacher. I'm also a third-degree Reiki practitioner, an energy worker, and I am a survivor. I'm a breast cancer survivor, and this class of breathwork is very close to my heart. I am not a breathwork trained teacher. I will be teaching you today what I practice and some of the breathwork practices that my teachers have taught to me and that I find very grounding, comforting, and calming. I continue to learn of breathwork exercises and about the nervous system with trauma and stress. And so I bring that lens to you today in a compassionate and loving way. So I invite you to find a comfortable place on your mat and just wrap yourself in a blanket if that feels right. We will be seated or lying down for this entire practice. So get comfy. I've created today's practice honoring the yoga teaching and pranayama, as we talked about. So prana being life force, and yama being external discipline, expansion, and regulation of your life force, that inhale, exhale motion, the expansion and regulation of your life force. We are grounding in the fourth chakra today, which is the heart chakra. So the chakras move from the root upward to the sacral, the solar plexus, so the lower three. The heart is the bridge between the lower three chakras and the upper three chakras. So we then have the throat, the third eye, between the eyebrow and the crown. When focusing on the 7 chakras, there are more. The Anishinaabe 7 grandfather teachings, honoring the land from where I am recording this session with you today and leading this practice, the land on which I am a guest and where I live, work, and give back. I'm very grateful to the Anishinaabe and the Algonquin peoples for welcoming me as a guest to this land and for the opportunity to share this with you at a Dawei. Honoring the 7 grandfather teachings, today we talk of truth. Turtle reminds us to live a balanced life and walk in a good way. Can you let your breath lead you? Honoring my culture, the Haudenosaunee Thanksgiving address as an Oneida woman of mixed lineage. I'm very grateful to share with you today a reading from the Thanksgiving address, leading with gratitude for the four winds. We are all thankful to the powers we know as the four winds. We hear their voices in the moving air as they refresh us and purify the air we breathe. They help to bring the change of seasons. From the four directions they come, bringing us messages and giving us strength. With one mind, we send our greetings and thanks to the four winds. Now our minds are one. With your journal today, I invite you to have that beside you as we move through the breathwork practice. There will be moments for pause where I will invite you to pause, and also whenever you feel called, whenever a thought or an emotion comes up for you, please feel welcome to jot that down and reflect on it later. To support you with your journaling and self-reflection in self-care for today, as we focus on stress and burnout, compassion for self and our business, this is my prompt for you, my offering to invite you to consider: how does my willingness to receive and release impact my business? How does my willingness to receive and release impact my business? Just take a few moments there to jot down any thoughts, and then we'll begin our physical practice, our breathwork pranayama practice today. As I've shared, I'm not a trained breathwork teacher. I'm very passionate about breathwork, and I've been grateful to learn from some incredible breathwork teachers throughout my training, and I will continue to learn. Today, I offer you a practice which are techniques and breathwork practices that I practice on a regular basis, pretty much daily. So I invite you to connect with me with any questions. And if this speaks to you and resonates with you, I invite you to consider reaching out to find a breathwork teacher. And if you would like a referral to someone that I trust for this work, please feel free to reach out. Thank you. So I'll invite you to begin in Shavasana, lying on your mat or on your blanket, wherever you feel comfortable, finding a comfortable position. And I'll invite you to place one hand on your heart, your left hand on your heart if that feels comfortable for you, and your right hand on your belly. And just reconnect with your breath, coming into this moment, into this space. Perhaps softening your gaze or closing your eyes and going inward. As you inhale, focusing on your nostrils, the air coming in and releasing through the nostrils. Listening to your breath, guiding you. Noticing your feet, your heels, touching Mother Earth, feeling planted, rooted. Noticing your hips and any space that you feel opening as you connect to the energy of Mother Earth. Noticing your low back and any space that's opening. Noticing your shoulders. You are supported by Mother Earth. Noticing any space between opening your shoulders and the earth. Noticing the back of your head supported by the earth and any space that may be expanding. You are supported. Following your breath's natural rhythm, can you let your exhale be a little bit longer than your inhale? Taking 2 more breath cycles at your own pace. And I'll invite you to then come to a seated and comfortable position. You may want to sit on blocks, as I am, or on your mat, on a pillow. I invite you to sit with a tall spine, with a crown tall, reaching to the stars, allowing space for your breath to travel through your body. And once again, take a moment to connect with your natural breath and rhythm. Let's begin with Dirga Pranayama, meaning long, deep, Dirga, long, deep, and Pranayama, as we talked about earlier, the expansion of your life force. So this is also known as 3-part breath. In 3-part breath, we focus on belly, ribs, and chest as 3 areas for expansion. So I'll guide you through this breath work. And the intention of this breath is to bring awareness, focusing on the belly as we expand with our inhale, focusing on the ribs as the breath moves up, and on the chest as the breath moves higher, all with the inhale, and with the exhale, chest, ribs, belly. And this breath brings awareness to each part of the body while bringing the mind to awareness with the breath. Think of expansion, belly, ribs, chest expanding, and grounding as you contract or release Coming back to your body, chest, contract, ribs, release, belly, release. So with our 3-part breath, we'll go through 6 to 8 rounds, and I'll invite you to move slowly at your own pace. The beautiful part of the 3-part breath practice, or in Sanskrit, Dirga Pranayama, the long, deep breath, it allows you to choose where you want to focus. Do you want to focus more on your belly as you inhale, your ribs, or your chest? Allow your breath to guide you. I will invite you to notice subtleties. Subtle cues in the body help us understand emotions that are coming up, feelings, and thoughts that may pop in. Gently and compassionately noticing them, perhaps jotting them down in your journal beside you, and coming back to reflection, returning to your breath in this practice. So let us begin for 6 to 8 rounds of our 3-part breath. I'll invite you to inhale, expanding your belly. Allow the air to draw up to your ribs and again to your chest. And release chest, ribs, belly. At your own pace, I will guide. Please listen to your breath and your body. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale with a smooth motion, chest, ribs, belly. Again, focusing on the long and deep inhale or exhale that feels aligned for you and your body today. Round 3, inhale to the belly, allowing your belly to expand. Ribs filling up with air and chest. And allow it to release in reverse. Chest, ribs, belly. Once more, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale. Inhale, expanding your belly, focusing on the air as it comes in through your nostrils and travels up through your brain and down your throat and into your belly, circling ribs, chest. Exhaling in reverse, exiting your body after touching every cell, every aspect of your body, releasing love back into the world, compassion for yourself and your business. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. And one more round of the 3-part breath at your own pace. I invite you to lie down once again in Shavasana, gently relaxing, feeling supported by the earth, and noticing, what is your body telling you? Do you notice any subtle sensations? Where might these be in your body? Return to your natural rhythm of breath and take a few moments to observe, to notice, and to listen to the wisdom of your body. I'll invite you to return to your comfortable seated position, and we'll begin with our second breathwork technique for today. The Sanskrit name is Nadi Sodhana. Nadi being subtle energy channel, and Sodhana, cleansing, also known as alternate nostril breathing or alternate nostril breath. So this breath work is bilateral stimulation. We are working with alternate nostrils, left and right, instead of both, as we did in the last breath work practice. This is also a calming breath work technique. It supports the nervous system and balance. So I invite you, if this feels comfortable for you, to notice how the body's responding. Some practitioners, some people find that this breath work can feel restrictive as you close the nostril, and I will guide you through this practice. If that feels intense, if it's not aligned for your body and your breath today, listen to your body. I used to get very anxious when I practiced alternate nostril breathing in the beginning. It felt as though I was blocking the airway. If your body feels that way, I invite you to practice imagining closing the nostril instead of manually pressing on the nostril. And alternatively, I invite you to return to your natural breath, to what your body wants. This is your practice always, and I am simply your guide. With alternate nostril breathing, we take the right hand and we block the right nostril for inhale of the left nostril, full inhale. Block the left nostril before exhaling with your ring finger. Release the right nostril and exhale. Once you've fully exhaled on the opposite side, take a full inhale again. Block that nostril. Release the left. Exhale through the left. So we exhale and then inhale on the same side. We block it again with the ring finger and we exhale on the other side. So I will cue that as we move through. My foot's falling asleep, so that's why I keep adjusting. I'm going to change positions here. always listening to my body and honoring what she needs as well. And I invite you to do the same. So you'll get to hear my nasal voice, and I will guide you through these prompts. We're going to do about 5 to 7 rounds of this breath. So again, I invite you always to listen to your body. Imagine the nostril work with your fingers if the hands are not working for you well, or always returning to what your body and natural rhythm is calling for and leading you to. So let us begin our alternate nostril breath, and in Sanskrit, Nadi Sadhana. Taking your right hand, thumb on right nostril, inhale left, block left, exhale right, inhale right, block right, exhale left. Inhale left. Block. Exhale right. Inhale right. Block right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Block left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Block right. Exhale left. Perhaps softening your gaze or closing down your eyes. For this 5th round, inhale left. Block left. Exhale right. Imagining blocking left, inhaling right with the left blocked. Only one nostril. Inhale on the right nostril. Exhale left. Only the left nostril. Imagining and intending inhaling only through the left nostril. Blocking and exhaling only through the right. And one more time, imagining inhaling only through the right nostril. And exhaling only through the left nostril. Softening your gaze or closing down your eyes. Taking a moment in seated position to notice, what is your breath and body telling you? What's coming up for you? Where do you notice it in your body? I invite you to jot any thoughts down in your journal. And once again, return to Shavasana, following the breathwork practice, lying down on your mat or the floor or the earth, your blanket, supported by Mother Earth, head, shoulders, back, hips, heels. I invite you to place one hand on your heart, another on your belly, and notice, what is your body telling you today, in this moment? Returning to seated, comfortable for our third breathwork practice today. This practice is known as Brahmari breath, also known as bumblebee or humming bee breath. So Brahmari means bee, and pranayama, as we know, is our breath regulation, our life force regulation. The prana, your energy, your life force moving through you. So humming is actually very relaxing for the nervous system. And when we hum, it's a stimulation of the vagus nerve and calms the mind. So this is a beautiful way to fully relax the body. The mind doesn't wander when you're humming. If you've ever noticed that, or if you take a moment and think about humming a tune or a favorite song, you can always return to this breath by simply humming. And I will guide you through the Brahmari pranayama, or humming bee breath, for this yoga practice today, and invite you to include that in your practice. We'll do 5 to 7 rounds of the Brahmari. So, taking a long and deep inhale, preparing, we will be taking a deep breath in and humming from the back of the throat. Lips closed, humming and releasing from the back of the throat, imagining as though you were fogging a mirror. However, this time using the vibration, so that area of your throat. It's that simple. And if your body is not welcoming this today or feeling another practice, I invite you to listen to your body and your breath. This will always be here for you to return to when you're ready to explore. Let's do 5 to 7 rounds of breath with our humming bee breath. beautiful, long, deep inhale. Expanding your belly and at your own pace, allowing your breath to move in and out as you're ready. My pace is simply a guide. I invite you to return to Shavasana once again and notice, what did this breath bring up for you? Take a few notes in your journal. Observe. You are supported by the earth. Can you let your breath and heart lead you? Where are you noticing sensations, subtle cues in the body? They're so subtle, so gentle. What do you notice? Where do you notice it? I invite you to return to a comfortable seated position for our fourth and final breathwork practice of today's breathwork yoga asana practice, pranayama. Choosing a comfortable seat and preparing for Ujjayi breath, Ujjayi pranayama, Ujjayi, victorious, expanding upward, also known as ocean breath because of the sound it makes, like the waves of the ocean. I was born and raised on the east coast of Turtle Island, next to the Atlantic Ocean, and it is still the place that brings me the greatest peace and joy. Thinking of it fills my heart with joy. The ocean is so healing, with the waves that come in and the sounds and the energy pulling any negative energy away and calming us with that consistent, steady return, just like our breath. When you feel the stress, when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel off in some way, know that you can always return to your breath. Ujjayi is the most common breath that I teach in yoga practice. It is the breath I use the most throughout my personal practice. It's a very calming breath, and I love the sound of the ocean, so it brings me home. The way that we work with Ujjayi breath is at the back of the throat, similar to the humming bee breath. And if you imagine that you're fogging up a mirror, but with your lips closed. So from the back of your throat, inhaling through the nose, exhaling with lips closed, air coming out the nostrils from the back of the throat. Ujjayi, ocean breath. So Ujjayi is also very soothing, and it helps to focus the mind. It's beautiful in an asana practice when in a difficult or challenging pose to focus on the breath, focus the mind on the practice. And it anchors your presence in the body, this beautiful breath. So let us do 6 to 8 rounds of Ujjayi breath. Again, following your breath, letting your breath guide you at your own pace. Remembering that deep inhale into your belly, perhaps expanding to chest, perhaps focusing on ribs. What does your body want and need today? I'll guide you through 6 to 8 rounds of our Ujjayi pranayama. Deep inhale, big belly breath. Allow your belly to expand, relaxing your belly. And exhale from the back of the throat, lips closed. Inhale again, deep breath. Softening your gaze, closing down your eyes. I invite you to place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, as you return to your natural rhythm, natural breath. What is your body telling you? What do you notice? It will be subtle. What is the message? I invite you to return to Shavasana, to integrate this breath and notice what your body is saying to you, supported by the earth, heels, hips, low back, shoulders, head, held, supported, grounded. I invite you to place your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your belly, and notice, how does your body feel? How is your breath? How is your rhythm? I'll invite you to return to a seated position when you're ready. Please feel welcome to take any notes for reflection that you've noticed in this practice. So today we focused on 3-part breath. In Sanskrit, Dirgha Pranayama. So the Dirgha is the long and deep of the 3-part breath, Pranayama. We focused on alternate nostril breath. In Sanskrit, Nadi Sodhana, subtle energy channel and cleansing. We learned and focused on humming bee breath, Brahmari Pranayama, bee and breath regulation, and ocean breath, Ujjayi Pranayama, Ujjayi being victorious, expanding upward, imagining the ocean and so expansive. I hope that you've enjoyed this breathwork practice today and that your nervous system is feeling a big hug and all the compassion and love that you've given yourself. I invite you to continue practicing perhaps one of these 4 that spoke to you, that you enjoyed, and adding that into your yoga practice, taking it off your mat, breathing while you're driving, preferably with your eyes open. I mean, definitely with your eyes open. Breathing while you're standing in line. Whenever your body cues that overwhelm, stress, return to your breath. Let it guide you. That concludes the physical breathwork asana practice today for your yoga workshop. we'll move into the journaling prompts. So I invite you to take your journal, and I'm going to adjust my seat. I will give a prompt. There'll be 4 journaling prompts as we move into this section of the workshop. I will give 2 minutes of silence and space for you to jot down any thoughts, reflections, emotions, whatever comes up for you. Notice your inner rhythm. Where do I feel balance or imbalance within myself and my business today? Where do I feel balance and imbalance within myself and my business today? Take 2 minutes to jot down any thoughts. About a minute left. Prompt number 2. What am I ready to receive that will nourish my well-being and the vitality of my work? What am I ready to receive that will nourish my well-being and the vitality of my work? Take 2 minutes. About a minute left. Prompt 3. What am I ready to release to create space for clarity and renewal in myself and my business? What am I ready to release to create space for clarity and renewal in myself and my business? About a minute left with this one. How is the life force of my business flowing? And what care or intention could help it move with greater harmony? How is the life force of my business flowing? And what care or intention could help it move with greater harmony? 2 minutes for our final prompt for today's journaling. About 45 seconds left. And that concludes our journaling portion of today's yoga workshop for grounding. We focused on listening to your body's inner wisdom, grounding through breath, returning inward, going deep inward with deep breaths and focusing on the body, the throat, the chest, the ribs, the belly, the back, the head. Your body carries great wisdom. Only move as fast as you can stay aligned. Can you let your breath lead you? In closing, returning to our teachings and circling back, we focused on the yoga teaching of pranayama. So, the breath regulation, prana being life force, yama being external discipline, also interpreted as expansion and regulation of life force, that regulation of your life force, the breath. We grounded in the fourth chakra, the heart. Heart-led entrepreneurship comes from the heart. Deep compassion for self, your vision, your business. What subtle shifts do you notice within your body, mind, and spirit? What can you notice as you practice and focus on your breath? The seven grandfather teaching of truth. What truth has your breath shown you in your practice? And the Haudenosaunee Thanksgiving address, gratitude. The four winds. How does the element of wind, air, balance with your heart to empower your business? How does the element of wind or air, when balanced with your heart, empower your business? Returning to your journaling intention. How does my willingness to receive and release impact my business? Thank you for joining me today and sharing your practice with me. I invite you to return to a comfortable seated position, perhaps cross-legged, perhaps hands on your knees, or if you'd like to join me with palms coming together at the heart, at our heart center, gazing down softly at the middle fingers, shoulders pressed down, softening your gaze. The light in me sees, honors, and acknowledges the light in you. Namaste. I look forward to seeing you next month for our next yoga workshop. Stay well.